when his dogs and cat are being a pain in the ass. He hopes this will always last, even bring the fun to the masses. Rolling through 1-2, then beating every dungeon classes. With his goofy faces and voice all over the places, he hopes to never give up on his dreams. To bring joy and even the facts from his last podcast every week, and stream his friends to bring that energy like big booty claps. He never gets angry, but sure can get scared.
My song is still going during the transition screen, and I just absolutely love it. There we are. Hello, everybody. This is the Bear Thoughts Podcast. We usually start at 5 o'clock, but we got busy chatting about audio problems because, well, everybody watched this week's D&D session. I had some issues. Corvo didn't until he did, and then I fixed my issues. So we're gonna take both parts and have to stick them together. So you ever watched this week's? Or if you like D&D, or you just want a good laugh, go watch some of the D&D sessions together. You'll get a good laugh, I promise you. My wife says she can't watch our D&D because it's too overstimulating. Like, me and you are like loud, Stealthy's quiet, and both of the Dragon and Clouder are also kind of quiet too. But with all of us talking at one time, and then of course this last week where Sneaky joined in the chat, I had to talk to him. I missed that, bro. That dude's a great guy. Well, he's a great guy as far as I'm aware online. I don't know him personally, but I have a feeling that if I ever met the guy in person, he's a great chap, you might say. I forget, is he Scottish or Irish? I know he's in the EU, but yeah, he's a great guy. Very funny. I love his humor. So anyways, yeah, we had for a good time. So, oh man, this has been, I can't say a stressful few days, but it's been an ordeal, and everybody's we're all trying to catch up to Christmas.
Sorry, I have a TikTok attention span.
Yeah, I said my wife, she has a TikTok attention span because she can't pay attention to multiple things at one time, and it has to be but she's like, oh, I can watch your shorts just fine. I'm like, yeah, because you're okay with watching some one thing, one focus, and you watch it for a short period of time, you moved on to the next thing. Like, that's a TikTok attention span. You can't pay attention to multiple things happening, going on, and a lot of things, and for a long period of time, you're moving on to the next thing, and the next thing, and the next thing. Like, even when I asked her to pull up my stream, she'll have my stream up and another video up on her computer. It's like, you're not gonna watch me? I'm not good enough apparently to watch. I'm gonna move my camera here. So there we go. All right, so yesterday I want to talk about this before we jump into your topic. Well, what was your topic again? Oh yeah, the VR thing. Yeah. So if you're interested in VR and get our thoughts on it, we'll be talking about VR in a little bit. But yesterday, we had a severe thunderstorm come through, and
right.
My wife came home and I was grilling. But problem is, with grilling and a severe thunderstorm coming about, there was a bit of a problem with that. AKA, you can't very much grill outside during a weathery storm. So I pulled it underneath my porch. I let it keep it going for a little longer, and we wouldn't go get something to eat because, like, I knew that was not gonna last very long, and it wasn't gonna get very good heat either. And my wife's going, "Are you sure you can drive through this weather?" And just as I say, "Yeah, sure," big old gusts of wind comes blowing through the back of our porch. Rain is everywhere. It's coming down hard. I'm going, "Yeah, I can still drive in this weather. Not a problem." She's like, "I'm scared." I'm like, "I'm not. Let's go. Let's go get some meat. We want some meat. Sure, let's go. We get out in the weather, and of course it's blowing like crazy. And my wife, she's kind of scared of actually being in this weather. Like, how can you see? How can you drive? How do you see the lines? I'm going, I see just fine. Not a problem. And I was like, I drew through tropical storms.
Yep.
Hurricane weather. I couldn't see but 5 feet in front of my vehicle, and I drove in it.
Yep.
this is not a big deal. But what is it about like that kind of weather that people are just like are just like they just freak out? I don't know. Maybe I'm just I don't want to say I'm built different, but
I don't think everybody can. I don't think everybody feels like they have the situational awareness and or the clarity to drive in it or be in it. So case in point, you know where me and Stealthy live. You know where Stealthy has lived prior to here.
yeah.
We have always driven in hurricane
I can't
weather,
help I'm blind at
tornado
night.
weather. Fuck, I've even driven in a fucking snowstorm in Maine before. Okay.
Yeah, we did too.
We've always driven in all types of weather. Now, for me, I don't give a shit. I'll drive.
Yeah.
Period. Because I mean, I'm gonna drive at the speed and rate that I feel comfortable at anyway. So I'm not concerned. Stealthy, love her to death. She is perfectly capable of driving it, and she will drive. She will tell you, I will drive. This is not new to me. I was outside in my front yard leaning into the wind when a hurricane was out there that was blowing hard enough to keep me from falling down. Okay? Now the difference is I don't give a shit. Even though Stealthy is capable of doing it, will do it, she doesn't like to do it. You understand?
Yeah. It's the same thing for me. I don't like. She was saying like, oh, we're going to become a tornado chaser. Like, no, I can chase a tornado in my vehicle. I don't want to. I don't enjoy that thrill. I don't enjoy being out of the weather like this. Really rough winds. I can feel my vehicle moving, sliding a little bit, or moving just a little bit.
has correctly joined the channel.
I don't, enjoy that aspect, but I can, and I can do it safely. I'm confident I can be a safe driver. That's what I can say. I'm confident. I know I will be careful because I've had to drive in this kind of weather when I'm going to school every single day when I was a kid, going on vacations, going, visit friends, doing anything. I was always a designated driver too. So always the person that was driving. And my family always said I was the type of guy that would turn my blinker on to turn into my own driveway. And I was that safe driver that everything I did, I was a very, very safe driver. And now I don't know if I still turn my blinkers on. Honestly, if I do, I don't notice it to get into my own driveway. But I'm still a very cautious driver, very cautious. And if something does happen, I know how to turn my wheel. Let's just say that. I know where to turn my wheel to be safe. Now, that time we went to visit y'all last year for our birthday, and the freak snow weather came in. My wife was one driving. Now, okay, real quick, for those who are joining us right now, I am not Queso. The guy above me is not Queso. If you're coming here for Queso, you can just chill around. Maybe you'll like us too. Oh no, just fun here. Okay, that's just like a group of people to join my chat, and every time this happens every week, I'm like, why? So when that happened, I wasn't like, okay, I had a vague idea of how you're supposed to turn your wheel during the weather. I'm like, let me look this up real quick. And I looked it up real fast. Like, all right, turn your wheel, wherever your ass is going, turn your wheel that way. And you'll straighten yourself out afterwards. And just what happened, my wife was driving and it happened. I'm like, turn the wheel, turn the wheel, turn the wheel. She was, honestly, she was freaking out. And I'm like, I don't blame her, right? This sucks. Because we were heading toward one of those road signs with the metal pole. And if you hit those things don't budge very much. So I'm like, we didn't hit it. We were good. But we got back straight again. And I'm like, she was able to handle that. Yeah, we were freaked out. We could barely see very much in front of us. But it reminded me of a storm or through a tropical storm and every aspect. My wife was going, I would rather rain than snow. Would you rather rain than snow? If it came to being like a downpour, you're all right.
I guess that's going to depend on where I'm at.
Yeah.
And the reason I say that is because some roads are built better for certain types of weather.
Yeah.
I do not want to be on a Florida built road in a fucking snowstorm. I also don't want to be in Maine on a road built for like Florida weather
Yeah.
in a fucking snowstorm. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But if I'm in Florida, rain. If I'm in Maine, no, because they're built for that, and you have more of a chance to be able to correct and stuff like that if you need to. But if I gotta choose whether to drive in, I would rather drive in rain than snow, and the reason being is rain will eventually shed off of the road. There will be some traction. However, if you get caught in a freak snowstorm and you do not have the proper gear for your vehicle, like snow chains or stuff like that,
Yeah.
there is no traction because that shit becomes a sheet of ice.
Yeah, I can see that. And no one wants to drive over a sheet of ice, and I'm sure some points of the road was a sheet of ice. There was a lot of points where we were like driving over probably just ice. We were driving so slow we were able to make over it, but it was definitely nerve-wracking, to say the least, to be driving over and through that snowstorm back from Georgia, of all places, through Alabama and back home. It's like, Jesus Christ, it's just, that was not comfortable. And we were supposed to like trade out between times, like who was driving, so because it's 8-hour drive. But we got so tense and so worried. We're like, no, just keep on going. We are not stopping. We are going. And that was our only goal. And she was in the driver's seat. And I was like, shit, I wish I was in the driver's seat so she wouldn't be worried about this. And I'm trying to, like, do directions on my phone and get information and see where the storm's at. I was like the weatherman and the guide all at one time while she was driving. It was a freak snowstorm. I've been through snowstorms before, but this was a freak one. This is something that hasn't happened in many, many years in Georgia and Alabama, according to the weatherman. So it was definitely uncomfortable. We made home, really late compared to we were supposed to, like 2 or 3 hours later because of how slow we were driving. But yeah, I would rather drive through rain. Full stop. Even though the visibility is just as bad. The road is about as slippery, but not nearly as much. It's just the fact that knowing if you stop in a snowstorm, there could be a real big problem. If you stop in a rainstorm, you're usually fine. Unless you see the rain stop and hail comes down, then you might want to start booking it. That means something else is on its way, and it isn't Santa Claus. It is not Santa Claus. Which honestly, I've been through tornado storms too. I would rather be through hurricanes.
A tornado could be a tornado. The scary thing about a tornado is usually a hurricane, once it makes landfall, it stays on a projected path.
Yeah.
Because it's massive. Fucking tornadoes, them bitches will hop around like your kids in the back of the fucking Jeep while you're trying to drive to your fucking vacation location. And you're like, got one arm behind you. Sit the fuck down. Sit down. Oh shit. Brake. Turn. Fuck, what are you doing? And
yeah.
Tornadoes are scary because they move fast.
Mm-hmm.
And they don't give a fuck what's in their path. It will move. Because I promise you, it's not going to move. It's like that. It's like the Hulk. That motherfucker starts running, and he ain't stopping. It don't matter what you fucking put in front of him. He going either through it, over it, under it. Somehow, it's going. He's going over it. Dude, I'm going to tell you from a man who was in a house in the middle of an F4 when that bitch hit. it will scare the shit right on out of you, bro. If you had constipation problems, you will not have them the moment that bitch hits. Because it's like the hand of God has reached down there and grabbed your home and shook that bitch.
Oh, boy. Well, Hurricane Katrina was the bad as I went, and we were on the cusp before it went from whatever it was initially to the next stage. I think it was a 5, and then went down, and it literally, like, the eye of the hurricane was so big, like, you could stand in the middle of it, and it seemed like the weather was gone. And a few minutes later, It was right back again. It's like, shit!
Yep.
But yeah, it was yesterday. It wasn't bad. Like we got there, we got back, and by the time we got back, it was over. It was done. Like, that was it. So I'm just saying, I guess it's just. I guess if you were born and raised in a certain area with a certain amount of like weather, like let's say you were born somewhere with a lot of snow comes out every year, you gotta get used to driving in snow and know how to drive in it, and you just like even if you're driving through it doesn't bother you. You can just not a problem. I'm not worried. I'll get home. I'm not worried about it. But at the same time, if you're used to driving through hurricane and tornado weather, you're also the same way. Like it doesn't bother you, and I don't know if I should be worried or scared. Like I don't like it, but I'm not scared. So like if it's just if it's a built different kind of mentality.
It's like my sister. She's not scared of a fucking snowstorm because of where she lives. I mean, that shit common. It's a fucking weekly occurrence for her.
Yeah.
However, you put that bitch down here in a storm that has like a hurricane type rain or a tornado type rain, and she fucking shuts down. She's like, how the fuck do you do this?
I don't know how I do it sometimes, or why does it bother me? It just doesn't. And of course, Japan, they have a genius way of dealing with snow. They have, as you know, they have a lot of hot water in Japan because they're technically on a very volcanic island, in a sense of a nation. But what they do, they have these little tiny sprinklers in the middle of the road, very low, so you can drive over them. But they when the snow happens, they open them, and water comes not roaring but pouring out of the holes, and water's constantly flowing, and it's always hot water. And their roads are never snowed over. I mean, it could be 10-foot tall snow weather, and their roads are still clear because the water is constantly running. It's always hot, so any snow that touches the roads is immediately melted, rather than just salt.
And that's pretty smart. But the only problem with that and doing that in a place like the States is the cost of the infrastructure to put it in place.
Yeah,
like that's. Fuck, their island is as big as what, Texas? Maybe a little bit bigger.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's one state. You try to start looking at, okay, everything above this point, we're gonna do this. Billions, not millions, billions of dollars in infrastructure to do this, and not to mention all the roads that have to be tore up to implement this shit and then redone.
Yeah, it'd be like trying to put the train, start building train stations that are equivalent to Japan's from what infrastructure we have already to their infrastructure would be about the same. Even though realistically, when we went there, I absolutely love the train system. I love like just getting into the vehicle, it driving me where I need to go, and then getting off and not have to worry about the weather or anything like that. It just does everything for me.
And see, that's one of the things I want to do, because they still have a train system close to us that will go from here to almost to Boston, like a 2-day ride.
Yeah.
And I don't give a fuck about going to Boston. I just want to experience what it's like to get on a train.
Yeah.
And go and be able to walk around and whatever. And if I want to go back to my little compartment and go my ass to sleep, I can, and not I just want to know what that's like.
It wasn't like a surreal feeling, but it was definitely interesting. Like just knowing that all you had to do is just listen for your stop, and then it just went, and then there was no thinking. You could do whatever you wanted while you waited. Of course, I heard there was supposed to be a train at one time going from, I don't know about where you are, but it was supposed to go from like other states directly to places like that were, right near Disneyland and Orlando's thing. They're going to supposedly try to open it back up. I'm going, yes, please, because I would love to be able to go, Corvo, I'll see you in 4 to 5 hours. I'm going to take the train and just go straight down to Florida and go straight to Orlando or go straight to Disney, and then bam, I'm there. And when I want to go home, I'll get back on the train, just haul my ass back. That would be great. So having to drive 8 hours through different roads and windings and different places and weather, and then getting there. Just let me have a train. Just let me have a train. I don't mind that one bit. I don't want to take a flight because honestly, flights, it's not the fact that getting, the flight's being bad. It's just the fact getting on the plane is a pain in the ass. I don't like.
Yeah, you gotta go through TSA.
You gotta get there early.
You gotta find your fucking your area to load, and you gotta get loaded and get seated.
Yeah.
And then when you get off, you gotta get off the plane. You gotta find your fucking luggage, and it's just, yeah.
And they get a ride from that PlayStation or that plane station to wherever you gotta go. Taxi, Uber, train if you're in Japan.
rental car.
Rental car. Yeah, I just want to just get in go. So yeah, I have no problem with weather. I just don't want to always drive through it, and I definitely don't want to be the person that's chasing weather. I am not that kind of guy. All right, so okay, we're gonna do the next topic here. And first thing, what brought this up? Because I think we talked about this VR before. I know we have.
Yeah,
I'm pretty
but
sure we have.
not with these specific advantages.
Okay. So
when we talked about it before, we talked about it as if you VR in and everything feels exactly the way it does in life. Pain,
the
death,
pain,
everything.
Pain, if you
Now,
feel it.
what I'm asking here, because this will bring out the true answers,
Okay.
is if you could VR into any game.
All right.
And you had unlimited lives, and the feeling of death was minimal, what game would it be?
Okay, I know this would probably sound like a cop-out, and it kind of is because there's not many game worlds that I would be truly as fascinated as World of Warcraft. I
can see that.
That game, even though it's still, even if you play World of Warcraft Classic, isn't the most prettiest things. And its scenery is very interesting. I know some people have done VR World of Warcraft when they're on those little, like those step things that make your feet slide, but it follows your footsteps. Like there's some YouTubers and like Twitch streamers that actually do that kind of stuff. I don't want it from that perspective. I want to be like if World of Warcraft was more realistic. I would love to be in that world because I'm sure it would be a fantastic and probably an eye-gawking, beautiful place to be. Because if it was like the cinematics from World of Warcraft, is always like top tier. I'm talking about like that quality. If a game ever got to that quality, VRing in World of Warcraft would be like a dream to me. 'Cause I love that world. I think it's amazing. I'm still a fan of that game, even though I can't afford it. But like, if you go from like modern day graphics,
No, I'm just saying any game. The one true game that if they said, all right, Mr. Bear, you can go into any game, any of them. Here, what would it be?
Boy, my brain is my brain is immediately going to certain games that I can't say because people might get the wrong opinion on me. But let's say they're not for the kids, and I'm going there for all the wrong reasons.
A DOA.
Yeah, they're like, I'm going there to have fun. Adult fun. See, that would be the case. I'd be like, you know what? I'm gonna be that guy. I'm gonna be that gooner. I'm just like, you know what? If we're gonna go with this, I want to see how far I can push this semi-stimulated, realistic feeling virtual world. And I'm not talking about your virtual chat worlds. Fuck that.
So for me, I would have to say I would probably want to go, and it's gonna sound weird.
Yeah.
From a little bit, because everybody knows that I lean towards a specific game franchise.
You know, a certain assassin game or not assassin
Something
game
like that.
depends. Yeah.
Some people, but that's not it.
Background.
That would. Mine would be. I'd probably want to go. I want Twilight Princess.
Twilight Princess. Okay. So, what is it about? Okay. Would you play as the protagonist?
I would want to, yeah.
Okay, so you wouldn't be like an average villager or the shopkeeper or the circus.
No, I want to be Link.
Okay,
and I would love to do that game.
All in first person view, right?
Like, I'm gonna be him. That is me. I'm VRing in. I'm becoming him.
That is a very good idea. Honestly, Breath of the Wild would probably be another one right behind it.
Now, ask me why.
Yeah,
because now I'm gonna be a gooner.
Yeah, like what made you
okay,
go through
so,
this?
All right, I want you to think about the character.
Yeah.
And I want you to think of all our popular characters: Zelda, Midna. All of those. Think of all of them. And what game did they do the greatest detailing in for them? And that was honestly Twilight Princess. Because Zelda looked like a sure enough authoritative badass fucking. She looked badass.
Yeah.
And I'm sorry, this is gonna sound a little on the nose for some people, but did y'all see what the fucking Midna turned into at the end of that game?
Just straight hotness. Hey,
I mean,
I'll even take the what's her name? The bartender woman. I'll take mommy.
Yeah,
I'll take her too.
My point is that I feel like I need to play him in that game because I feel like he made a mistake at the end.
Yeah, letting her go.
By allowing one of the two of them to leave, because I feel like he could have had the best life, because both of them was very happy with his performance at the end of the game.
Yeah, it's like,
well, and there's that, and then there's, who fucking doesn't want the ability to turn into a giant fucking wolf and bite a motherfucker? Because I do.
Yeah. Well, for me, it would be, again, Breath of the Wild. But I want to go to the Breath of the Wild where a certain tall mommy is still alive and keep her alive, damn it. She was best woman.
Urbosa is not dying, bitch.
Yeah,
Urbosa is not dying, motherfucker.
Sorry, Fish Princess. I'm not into tuna.
She ain't dying either. She ain't dying either. Listen, I'm an equal opportunity motherfucker. I'm telling you now. Zelda, don't get on your knees picking flowers in front of me, motherfucker.
Yeah,
crawling around in that.
I'm just saying, like those games right there. It's kind of like the Metroid, right? The Metroid just came out, and it was first-person shooter, which I also think would be a fun kind of VR games. And honestly, I don't have a VR. I would love to have a VR one day. Honestly, if it would be like one of those things like, do I want one so much so I would save up all my money to buy one? No. But if I had the ease of means of buying one, I would buy a VR. But problem is,
if one showed up on your front porch, you're not gonna go return to sender.
Yeah. But sometimes, like, the VR games I always see they're not like the kind of VR games I would think of, because I want to see a first-person VR game like a Skyrim or a Subnautica, which my wife wants me to do so badly, but it would never happen. Even if I had a VR, it's not happening ever. But I would play like a first-person shooter kind of like game, or a first-person hack and slash, because like that's like the kind of things I would be into. Because I want to, if I'm playing VR, I want to play as the character. I don't want to see myself moving around. I want to be moving around.
Said.
So all
Nintendo
that
Switch has a
was to
VR.
set up what the next question, because the next question is going to tell us a lot.
Yeah.
Okay. With the same rules, mind you.
Okay.
Which game would you absolutely not VR into? When I say that,
Subnautica.
absolutely not.
Absolutely not. Now,
So
because,
for me, see, I play things
Said.
like BioShock.
It needs to
and
happen for
fucking,
Subnautica.
Fear and Resident Evil, and I'm gonna tell you, I play those all day long. They don't bother me.
mm-hmm.
However, I also know that I'm on this side of a screen, and that motherfucker is in there.
Yeah.
Okay. You put me in a first-person situation with those, somebody is getting hurt. Somebody will get hurt.
Like you see
Because
those.
I don't know not to swing at what I think and perceive is actually there.
Yeah, like you see
So
those
I'm like,
grandmas or grandpas like play those VR games where they're looking over a balcony, over a skyrise, or they're looking over something, or they're walking down a plank, and when you see them outside, they all go falling down and like hurting themselves because their brains are so like not realizing that their detachments from the VR game was happening and what's in actual real world. That would be with me with Subnautica. I don't always detach my brain from what is being displayed in front of me. And if you put the game, like Subverse, the people have made like mods, of realistic mods for the game, and you actually make the fish look a little bit more realistic. Everything else was great, but the fish were still a little meh. I just couldn't do it, because like you gotta realize when you put the VR on, all light is out. Like, you don't see no light other than what you're being viewed in you. It's supposed to take up all your view, and you normally have headsets on, so all outward sound are gone. So that's two of your senses. You block out my nose, we're done. And if they ever figure out a way to attach the neurons of your brain to the simulation of what's happening in the game, there's no way in hell someone's not going to come out with some true fear in their mind. And that's
I mean, my thought process is, okay, I play these games and I'm comfortable playing them because I know they're not real, because I am not perceiving them as being in the room with me, right?
Yeah.
So I'm okay with that. However, do you put me in a situation where my perception says
Dying
this
light beast in VR
motherfucker
would be something.
is right in front of me trying to eat my fucking face? I hope I'm in an empty room.
So okay,
I hope no one's in there and there's nothing in there, because if there is, something's getting broken, because bitch, I'm finna throw down.
So here's a question for you. Are you able, even with, let's say, low tier graphics, are you able to put your mind in a sense of dispense where you know it's really not like the best graphics, it still feels real to you? Or are you a person that has to have that realistic looking characters, high definition, to give yourself that believability that this is actually something that's real or happening, or like grip your mind into it?
For me, it doesn't have to be graphical. For me, it's the situation.
It's situational.
If that makes sense. So
okay.
For me, I would be just as fucking ready to throw down if I see a fucking Minecraft creeper just pop up in front of me and I perceive that he's actually there. Okay, because that's a hey, this motherfucker's trying to hurt me. I'm situational, which is why I guess I'm able to play some of the scarier games that I play, because some of the situations don't make me feel that way. If you understand, I just see it as it's in my way.
Yeah.
Kind of like last night, I started playing BioShock again because I was bored and I wanted to murder people.
Yeah.
And the case in point is my little one was in there watching me when I started playing,
Okay.
and he goes, this is kind of scary. I'm like, okay, I can see where you could perceive that, but for me, this isn't scary.
This is Tuesday.
Okay, the man on the radio said, "Hey, you need to go from this point to this,"
Yeah.
and all these motherfuckers is just in my way. They trying to stop me.
Yeah.
I don't
Yeah.
give a shit what they look like. I mean, they could look like Mickey Mouse, but if they're trying to stop me, they're gonna get blasted. It's
All
just
right.
that's how I feel. However, case in point, fear.
Well,
My situation with with fear is different because especially when you're walking along and your perception perceives a fucking demon ghost girl coming to kill you. Okay, that is not something in my way. That is something fucking hunting me.
Yeah.
I am now afraid.
Yeah, like I said, like it's definitely one thing to see something that's realistic and to be able to your mind be able to have the ease of immediately attaching yourself to that world because it looks so realistic in a lot of ways. But
Right.
for me, for World of Warcraft, I can't tell you how many times, even though I was even from an outward perspective, my character would go from a high place and fall to its death. And I would feel the fear and the pain of him hitting the ground and dying. And it was so real. Like I felt pain. And I don't know how to describe that. These are literally like the lowest budget of 3D digital pixel characters. And seeing my character fall to his death would physically hurt me. I would like buckle in and I would feel it in my gut and in my chest. And when he dies, like, oh, it hurt. I'm like, but why am I so attached to this pixelized character? It's like because I've been through with him so long. I've been with this character for so long. He
Right.
is me. I've done everything with this character. I built up this character. It's like my child. And I just watched my kid just die. And it hurt. And I'm like, if I play World of Warcraft, I would probably feel the same. Now, put me in first person view. Nope. I don't want to fall from a high place to the ground. I'm pretty sure anybody wouldn't go, let's go to the top of the, inside of the top of a 84 building, look over the edge and go, what would be fun if I just jumped right now?
Yeah.
No.
Well, I think for a lot of people that play games, the what they would actually do if they perceive themselves in a first person view actually being in the game and what they do outside playing like on a screen or something would be different, especially if you had that feeling that it is real. Okay.
Yeah.
But then I think there are a few exceptions to that, being that there are some people that even in that situation can separate themselves from a game and would be like, fuck it, let's try it.
Yeah. There's been times I said, fucking just do it, and
I mean,
I would still feel
I love
something.
playing Star Wars games, but I don't want a motherfucker to stab me with a lightsaber. I have a feeling that shit might hurt.
Oh, can you imagine playing like Star Wars and it'd be like, I would say like Skyrim, and somebody comes behind you, and all you hear is pew, and you look down, and you see a lightsaber going through your chest. Like you try to turn around and go, "You motherfucker!"
All I got to say is they better hope that I'm like dead at the moment he ejects, because I will roll my saber around backwards, stick it to my chest, and open it going back. Bitch, you going with me? I'm sorry. I'm not that motherfucker. I don't lose fights, bitch.
I finished, but yeah, I'm just VR has such capabilities. And you know when the first like anime that came out with like the VR thing, Sword Art Online, it was supposed to come out in 2022. And it's 2025. Damn it! Where's my top of the line VR headset system? Damn it! I don't care if you put me in a pod and you lay my ass back and the thing comes over my head and I just go unconscious and the world shows up in my mind. Let's do it, damn it. I want to try it. Though again, I don't want to be the first one to try it because I have a feeling.
Oh no, you get to try, and the first thing they're gonna do is like random Russian roulette, which one you get to play, and you're already gonna be locked in. And it's gonna go Subnautica. You're gonna be like, you're gonna wake up going, no.
Okay, here's a question, and this is probably something most people I don't ask. How much, like, you know, like when computers were first made, how huge they were, right? They were size of buildings, just dots a few lines on a piece of paper, not exaggeration. How big of a building would you think you need, or a room, to actually making a fully immersed, fully graphics, fully, I mean, like top of the line VR setup?
Are we talking for a single use
person? Because
Okay.
again, back then
Use.
it was a whole building for a piece of paper.
I would say, at the bare minimum, you would need the entire floor of a high rise.
Okay. And okay, we're building the system. So entire floor of high rises. We're talking about like 8 or 9. I mean, how many racks do you think? 10, 15 racks?
Oh fuck no! You're gonna have rooms of shit.
Rooms of racks, and you need.
Room.
Okay, so we're talking about like how many graphics card would you try to connect to each other? Or would you just need one powerful one? Because like right now we're in 5090s.
They don't. I don't think we have the ability yet to do a single card that has the ability to make it that immersive. So I would say you would have to. Oh man, that's a lot of fucking shit.
Yeah, money's not an option, or money's not an obstacle. I know
So
there's actually
let's say-
600 versions already out there. Those are limited.
I would say that you're gonna need, for every rack of equipment, you're gonna need a half rack of graphics.
Half graph. Okay. Probably another rack with all the
let's say, for
super
instance,
expensive
let's say-
RAM.
Yeah, no shit, dude. I had to buy some RAM at work. Holy fuck. What was $75 is now $400. But yeah, let's say you build this and it takes 20 racks. You're gonna need at least 10 racks worth of graphics.
Okay, 10 of the graphics. Probably well over 1,000 bits of RAM. All DDR5s, because you know
You're
that's
gonna
what we have
max
right now.
out. You're gonna max out the RAM on every fucking server. You're
Would you go
gonna max out
Intel
the
or
graphics.
AMD?
Would I go what?
Intel or AMD?
I would probably, not for the reasons people think, but I'd probably go Intel.
Okay.
And the reason being is because they've been in the business for a while. They have a stable core structure for their processors.
Okay.
So I would probably go with them.
All right. I actually don't know the answer to this one. Water cooled or air cooled?
I would go combo.
Combo? Okay.
Yeah, I would water cool everything, but still put air cooled assist in all the rooms.
So the room would be air cooled, but the systems would be water cooled.
Yes.
Okay. And would you go for like server, like motherboards, you know, that kind of things, or would you go for like I would imagine you go for server ones, right? But they're not normally built for gaming. So that's my thoughts are. Because server
Those are going to be
motherboards
custom boards. Those are going to be custom boards. So those boards are going to be built to fit a server profile, but specifically for gaming.
Okay. And now we got the computers. Let's say we have the computers that have powerful enough to do this. Would you go for of course the VR has to be on your eyes, right? It has to be on your eyes so you get a full view of whatever you're looking at. But audio, would you go for headset audio or room audio?
Room
360.
360 degree room audio. Reason being is nothing is more realistic than actually hearing what is supposed to be a small crack of like a twig or something 10 feet that way, and it actually coming from 10 feet that way. You get my point?
Would the audio have to move, or like could you not have
The
the
audio doesn't move. The whole purpose of building this system is it to be able to have the ability to tweak the audio in a way that it, no matter where you fix the speaker, it's going to go, okay, he's facing forward. The sound is supposed to come from 10 feet behind him. So we're going to go to speaker A12 over here. And we're going to dial the pitches and tones and stuff to match that distance. So, and you want it to be intelligent enough that, let's say the room's only 20 by 20, but the sound's supposed to come from 25 feet away, right?
Yeah.
So it's going to pick the speaker in that direction, and then it's going to dial the sound and auto a level and adjust the sound to where it sounds like it's coming 25 feet. Because it's already got 20 feet, so it only has to adjust for 5 extra feet. You understand? Okay. So nothing is more realistic than not having something on your ears, but still hearing that sound in that direction.
Yeah, because like all the times in the shows, they always have the futuristic shows, always a headset, which I'm sure the headsets will come over the years, will get better and better and better. Even some headsets nowadays have a pretty good audio range around me, but also be good to be able to hear what's actually somebody comes in the room and you can hear them. I would like to keep doing that feature too, because if somebody comes in a room, let's say a thief or a killer comes into your room, a real life one, I want to hear them. But I'm sure, like, something get closer, they can make the sound of the sound behind you get louder and louder and louder and louder, so it sounds like it's getting closer to you.
Right, that's the whole point.
Yeah, and you would need a whole rack to do just focus purely on audio, because you don't realize how important audio is when it comes to immersing yourself into something. You're thinking, oh, it's just all visual.
Well, and then you have this other thing that you've got to accomplish with audio that has absolutely nothing to do with tech, but has to do with construction.
Okay, what's that?
Okay, you have to build this room out of a material that is able to dampen sound just enough that it doesn't echo, but be able to reverb sound enough that it gives you the feeling that the sound came from that direction.
Oh yeah, I've had plenty of times where I'm hearing something and going, oh, it sounds like it's coming from there. And then I'm moving to another spot, like, now it sounds like coming from that way. Which way is it coming from? Because the sound bounced off something and hit my ear on the other side.
Right. You've got to use a material, construction material for the walls in that room that can account for that.
Okay. What else would you think that it would help you get a more immersion? I'm trying to think of here. I know light's important, but again, if you're wearing a VR headset, only way to make you maybe feel like it's not a VR headset is like if you can figure out a way to make you feel like you have nothing on your face. That's probably the biggest channel I think VR has right now, is to make something like, even though it's something like you're seeing something, only that you're still feeling something on your face. You're still looking at Well, they have a pretty high resolution for VR headsets because, well, they have high resolutions on phones. So how would you get rid of that sensation of something on your face or something being in front of you, and you know it's in front of you in a sense of a screen? Because like
there's no way to not have some sensation of you're looking in something. There's not yet. The only way you would be able to do that is to squash having a headset, an eyepiece at all.
Mm-hmm.
The entire room would need to be made out of pixel panels, like that big ass screen we got at work.
Yeah.
So that every image would be up on those to give you a sense of depth, right?
Mm-hmm.
The floor would have to have that same panel below it with like a sheet of glass over it. So when you look down, you see the world around you. And as you walk, that screen moves with you.
Yeah, that'd be so hard.
But the biggest issue is going to be your 3D object.
Yeah.
So right now, we don't have a way to do 3D projection.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. If we could do 3D projection, that would eliminate the whole eye thing, because then your NPCs, your characters, even the armor you're wearing can be projected upon you and be visibly seen without any of this. So but right now we can't do that.
Yeah, that's a projection. The other way solution is, of course, is put the visual feed directly into your brain, which we can't do that just yet. Some people are trying to put that chip on their head and try to be the first people to do that. I don't feel comfortable with that just yet. But that would be really cool if you could project it straight into your brain.
What would help to some degree would be, instead of VR headsets being so big, to shrink them down, make them small. The smaller they are, the less you feel. Yeah. The less you feel, the more immersed you are.
Like kind of glasses, like making
you're thinking. I'm thinking smaller than that.
Smaller than that.
I'm thinking. Okay, so have you ever been to a tanning salon?
Yeah.
You ever seen the little plastic eye things that fit over your eyes?
Yes.
I'm thinking it needs to be small and light, like that, with little screens in there.
Okay. Huh. Well, yeah, getting the technology to that now. All right. So nowadays, because I know the newest VR from Steam is now you can Bluetooth the feed from your computer into the VR headset, and it starts playing it. Now, with anything that's like just latency and stuff like that, but also like it can also be a standalone device where it's just all the computer hardware is inside of it, right? So would you rather have the headset? I would imagine you would rather have it as light as it can be. You just want it as the visual feed. That's all you want is visual feed.
That's all it is.
You need to send the feed from another external device, even outside the room, and send that feed to it, so you can see. Because you don't want to have a big old chunky thing in front of you. You know, leaning down, it's moving too. It's moving around. It's also hot, and it's very encumbersome. Or two sides of a device on both front of your head. So, I think it was. Either it was Steam or it was Apple. Somebody made this that visor from Star Trek. That one guy had the little visor.
Geordi.
Yeah,
Geordi's visor.
He had the visor is almost as big as that. Like it's like really thin and kind of small. And it even like if you send a 3D model of your face, they can even make a custom eye padding right there, whatnot, but it's not nearly as powerful. I'm like, well, that's getting kind of close to where we would need it to be, instead of these large iPhone-esque chunkers in front of your face like this the entire time. But yeah, I would imagine you would need a feed from the outside coming in. But then, I have a feeling that if they've ever did that, they were like, all right, here's your rental service. Rent a computer 500 miles away from you. We'll send the feed to your VR headset, and you can have it. Like, no, I want to own it. So my next question would be, Because again, we should be controlling this world through our brains, right? I would imagine. Would you rather have it actually like you control it with your body, you know, with the controllers in your hand, but like instead of controllers
I don't
being
want.
your hands,
I
or you
don't
want to be
want
like laid
controllers.
down?
What I want. Well, I don't want controllers. What I want is I want sensors in the room, all around the room. Their entire programming is meant to focus on you, and then your hand movements dictate what you're doing.
So many people would lose so much weight. I would lose weight because I
If
know if you're
I
doing this with
reach-
your actual
If
body.
I reach back like this
Uh-huh.
to grab the Master Sword, that sensor should read, hey, his hand is reaching for where that sword should be.
Yeah.
So when I pull out, I should see the Master Sword.
Yeah.
Okay? I should feel it. It should almost feel like I'm holding it. Okay?
So you want like
Now,
a bodysuit.
Yeah.
And you have sensors inside the bodysuit to give a sense of touch, a feel, and like even how would you do weight?
That's done through actually sound.
Weight through sound.
Yep.
I
The
would think,
more
like-
sound pressure you place against someone's skin,
Yeah.
the heavier an object's going to feel.
Okay.
You
I was thinking
understand?
I was like, if the suit can restrict your body in some way to make it give a sense of tension. Like, say, let's say my arm like moving like free like this, if the suit would tighten, and when I was trying to move, it would fight against me. So maybe it would feel like there's
No,
something
there's no need for that because physiologically you're going to, if you perceive that what you are holding is heavy,
Yeah.
your body is going to react in the way it would for a heavy object.
Yeah.
You're going to do that yourself. You're going to govern yourself.
I just have a feeling
Okay.
that some people are going to be like, they're going to want to be lazy. And they're gonna be like, no. We don't want to stand up and walk and move our bodies around. We want to sit down and like it's a video game. I want to relax, but then have all the feeds direct to your brain. I'm going, wouldn't you, if your brain would tell you this is heavy, wouldn't your body still have a sense of tension on it? Because I've woken up from nightmares and I felt tired as can be.
Yeah, because your body, your muscles are contracting like they would if you were actually running or actually fighting or whatever. So that's the case in point. If I perceive, because there's enough sound pressure against this hand, that the sword I'm holding in my hand weighs 12 pounds, muscularly wise, my body is going to react as if I'm holding a 12-pound weapon.
Okay. So you want the full chamber. Some people want the egg chamber. I don't know. I feel like I don't know if they would be able to advertise, but like, hey, of course they kind of advertise actual VR as a way of exercising, but I feel like a lot more video gamers would be a lot more healthier if we had to all stand up and play our video games. And if you were a chunky guy, you lose weight or you don't want to play video games. I don't know what to say.
I mean, if you build this room and you're in there playing a game, you couldn't play a game as long as you do now.
Yeah, no way.
You'd be
no way.
surprised. Streams, if you were trying to stream it for people to watch, your streams would go from, hey, I need to average 4 hours to, hey, you bitches are getting an hour. Because when I'm done with this shit, bitch, I got a nap. It'll slowly get longer because slowly you'll get in better physical shape.
Yeah.
And be able to go longer. But the point is then what you're going to start seeing is video gamers are not going to be called nerds anymore.
Yeah.
They're going to walk out of their video game VR rooms and they're going to look like fucking Greek god and have the stamina to screw for days.
Oh, man. Can you imagine if you played a VR game? It's like, okay, you want to improve your stats? Do some push-ups. You want to improve your stats? Start running. You want to improve your stats? Start lifting some weights, and he's all in the video game, but real life, you're like,
think about all the different games they are. That there's usually some kind of, hey, you got to do this kind of training before you move on.
Yes,
Bitch. I mean, come on. You gonna come out going, Didn't have that when I went in. Yeah. You know?
Like when you're playing World of Warcraft, right? And let's say you are actually doing the attacks, and you're swinging your arm around all day. That shit's gonna get tired real quick. And even if you're pulling the gun up, doing this motion over and over again, and loading it, and doing this, and loading it, doing this, and loading it, doing this, like you eventually like that, those muscles will build up. God, I can always see the military trying to pull this off. Honestly, if they would be the first people to do it too.
The other side of that that's funny is that you know what else is gonna breed?
Gooners?
No. I want you to think about this. Think about this. Think carefully. When martial artists train, what do they do over and over again?
The same motions.
Right. Now, let me ask you a question. What makes a great martial artist? The one that can attack 12 times in a row, or the one that only needs one attack?
The one attack.
Okay, so let's say you've been playing World of Warcraft for 10 years in this system, right? By then, you are no longer the guy that's sitting there fighting for your life when you're fighting shit. You're walking up to it, you're looking at it. You have already assessed your enemy because you know exactly what you're capable of, exactly what it's capable of. Chances are, it's going to be a single strike, a one and done.
Yeah.
Okay, that's going to make you precise. Now, what happens when you go out in the real world? You step outside. Now you have become a precision fighting machine. Motherfucker tries to swing at you, and you're just like,
yeah. What my brain would immediately thinks of, like, again, military. Like, would this be something that only the military would be able to get their hands on, or would this ever be consumer? Because if every single gamer in the world right now, you took every single gamer and gave them that and had them start training right now, everybody would be a deadly machine.
The human race would become something much more than it already is. I mean, I'm not saying, guys, that there's aliens or anything out there, but if they are, they wouldn't want to land on this fucking planet after about 2 decades of us all doing this shit.
Yeah, and then
because it'd be like, we're here to take over, and be like, the fuck you say?
Yeah, and then like, of course, also like all the military games. How many people that play military games have ever touched a gun in their life? It's the whole world, not just America. Exclude America, the whole world. Not that many. Now, have all of them play Call of Duty, Battlefield, Ark, and I have all of them have play this game, and all how to learn how to shoot a gun, hold a gun, the weight of a gun, the recoil of a gun. You've got a lot of layers, and then have them start learning how to do tactics, how to do strategic, and how to be. A lot of people will be very efficient at guns, and I know that would be
not
something.
Just guns. Hell, you can take guns out of it and say, let's look at all the ninjas and all the samurais and all the fucking, sword plays and axes and shit. You'll have motherfuckers that couldn't chop a piece of wood be able to take an axe and fend off 20 motherfuckers at one time alone. And you're just, I mean, because it builds skills. It's called muscle memory.
Yes, very much so.
And it happens. I mean, that's why martial artists repeat forms and techniques and katas and stuff over and over and over again, because it becomes something that you don't even think about. It's a muscle memory. You auto react. It becomes part of you.
Okay, so would you think, because I'm trying to think of the psychologically form of this kind of things. Video games are people's escape, as we all know. People's way of relaxing, people's way of relieving some stress and whatnot. Would video games still be a form of entertainment and fun and relaxation if it became almost a sense of workout? But if we all became fit and all became healthy in that sense.
I think it would, but I think it would also evolve into something that not only do you feel good because you completed the game, but you feel good because you feel better. Okay? You physically feel better, even when you're out of the game. You're getting benefits. Yeah. You're getting benefits outside of the game. for just playing a game that you enjoy.
Yeah,
I think it would evolve into something. I think you would also have a whole lot of games that would become like hangout games.
Yeah.
Where people would log in because I don't live that close to you, but we could both jump on a VR server and it feel like we're sitting face to face and go hang out and talk and fucking build a house somewhere if we wanted to or whatever. I can't do that now, but if that was if the ability to connect in a unified world like that was there, then you could.
And then you would have
you would have the ability for people that, I would dare say, people that have issues, that need help, someone to talk to, someone to hang out with. Now you don't have to go 3 states over. You just have to log in.
Mm-hmm.
You know?
Well, then would that destroy? Okay, so like again, there's so many perspectives here. Like that could destroy real life human interactions in a sense of like actually meeting them in real life, touching them in real life, and being physical in real life.
It could, but here's the thing. Here's the trick to that. There's a counter to everything.
Yeah.
So the counter to that would be that you would have to put a regulatory commission together, and they would have to put out some kind of regular, hey, you're allotted 4 hours a day. That's it.
Yeah, some people that's not enough.
It might not be enough, but 4 hours is 4 hours. So if I play for 4 hours and I can't play any more that day, it forces me to still have to have day-to-day human interaction.
Yeah, and you wouldn't have to worry about like you know, some people play video games, and sometimes like I don't know if you ever played any one of those games before, but you ever played a video game where it's like the game's like, hey, you've been on here for so many hours, get off. There's actually been games like that. And this would be one of the situations like, hey, you've been on here way too long. You need to quit and go take a walk. But if a game is you're constantly moving about, and as long as it's keeping track of, well, you should know your own body, so you should know, okay, I'm not feeling very good, I need to go rest. But if people like we get back to the workout thing, your body releases endorphins when you're working out, which makes you feel good, and endorphins make your brain happy. And if your brain's happy, well, you're enjoying yourself. So if you're working out, you're getting a lot of endorphins by running and swinging and fighting. Your endorphins are being released in your brain. It should be way better than just sitting down and achieving something, which also releases endorphins. But you're normally sitting down, not doing anything to the endorphin rush. So because let's say beating the boss in a video game, just big old endorphins just get released in your brain. So, and that perspective, like I would much rather. Probably actually, now I'm thinking about it, I would rather be moving around because I'm not even getting healthy. I'm moving around. I'm getting more endorphins because people get endorphins just by running. The only thing that I would be worried about is the social aspect or the military use of something that's supposed to be entertaining and fun. Because again, I want to have fun at the end of the day. That's the point of the whole VR system, is to immerse myself even more into the world of fun, without getting myself in danger on the outward perspective.
Right.
There's still gonna be people walking around in the world still doing things. Heck, even my wife, she was like, I wish I could just work from home. It's like, don't worry, honey, someday they're gonna make a robot that you can control from home and there's some VR system, and you can use a robot at your job to look over patients. That's gonna be it someday. Like it's robots are not walking around just yet, but I believe the first step is somebody gonna have a puppet robot to have a very high, hands and all the stuff like that. You're gonna control it from a VR headset, even though it's a robot with some intelligence. You're still gonna be the one controlling it, and then eventually they're just gonna put an AI robot out there to do all what you did and do it better because technology. Someday they're gonna go to a first aid place. They're gonna be like, yeah, I need to see a doctor. Robot walks up to you. But yeah, I think AI, VR could be a thing. I just see right now, it's in order to get that full immersion, yeah, you're gonna need a whole skyrise.
It's like I've got a friend that has an Oculus.
Okay.
And his whole he literally said it is fun to play the VR, to play the Oculus, but there is something that he found, that there's a trick. It is better to have an empty room in your house
Yeah.
to do this Oculus stuff in than it is to not.
Yeah.
Because you are going to bump into shit, you're going to hit shit,
Yeah.
and it's just not pleasant. So when they bought their new home, they literally have a room that is completely
I need a
empty.
robot back.
Well, that's why they're trying to
Completely
make this. They're trying to make those platforms where no matter which way you walk, it keeps you in one spot. Problem
But
with
here's
those
the thing,
platforms
though.
is
They
those
say they're
shoes-
trying, but that shit was already developed like when I was in my teens, bro.
Yeah.
I've been on one
Yeah.
in a mall in Cincinnati, Ohio.
Yeah. So like there was like there's two versions of it. There's one that has a slight lip to it, so when you step on it, you're immediately sliding back because of the platform and your shoes are sliding it. But there's another one that I saw online where the whole room are like on wheels, and whenever you walk, it's always you're just sliding around. You're not falling, but you're just kind of sliding around in one circle, moving around. And I'm sure that right there, that technology, sensing which way you're turning, which way your body's moving, is getting there. But that was a whole room trying to get it. It wasn't a little small platform.
The one that I was on in Cincinnati was a treadmill. But this treadmill was outfitted to turn 360 degrees.
Okay.
And raise for elevation.
Nice.
Okay. So when you put the headset on, it was like a mech type virtual reality.
Okay.
So as you walk, it's turned, the belt's running, so you're walking. And when you turn your
Bless you.
Excuse me. Most people, as you change directions when you're walking, you kind of turn your head that way. You're looking at where you're walking. This thing was programmed that if I turned my head to the left and I kept walking, the platform would turn left.
Okay.
If I turn right, the platform would turn right. If I come up to a hill,
Good time. Bless you.
Usually when you're at a hill or something that's kind of a upgrade, you kind of look up, so it would raise the front of the treadmill to give the perception of elevation.
Mm-hmm.
And once you crested and started down, it would slowly start coming back down to plane to give you the ascent feeling. It was wild. One of the coolest things I've ever did. And I would be happy with that.
All right, but my only thoughts after that would be let's get the walking moving. I know we're a little bit over time here, but I think we're both having some fun talking, just imagining this stuff. How would we get over the obstacle of elevation, but sharp elevation? Let's say you walk up to stairs. Well, that's a knee bring up, and then bring down, but hitting something. Knee bring up, elevating, or a rock or boulder.
Your own perception is gonna
elevating.
your own perception is gonna fill in some of those gaps anyway because of what you were seeing. The trick to that is something we can't do yet. We would have to have a room that has the ability to essentially change its terrain.
Yeah, okay. Would you think, okay, I know we're still in the realm of future technology. And would it be more challenging to have a room that conformed and changed to the world you're visually seeing or get that stimulation of realism? Or would you imagine the world having a combined sense of motion and sound around you with also the stimulation of a neural connection of a stepping upwards? Like, would you still need that kind of form, some kind of neural connection to make fool your brain that you are stepping upwards?
If you depend, okay, so you can go with sound, and if you can create a room that the terrain can change, okay, then you don't need that neural connection for that, because you're seeing it, you're feeling it, you're experiencing.
Yeah, I'm just like, how challenging would that be? Would it be more challenging to build that kind of room?
It's more challenging. It's more challenging, I think, to build the room than to link it directly to like your brain to make your brain think you're doing.
Okay, because we're still working on the technology of trying to connect things to your brain. We're not very successful, but I can only imagine trying to have a room that's almost like pixel motion up and down and moving, things. It's like every time you take a step, it's like boop 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 boop. It's moving. Here's a stick. The room literally makes a stick bump. So you walk, you feel the stick under your feet. So, that kind of thing would be so challenging, and that sounds like a very expensive room. That sounds like a very, very expensive room. It's not a chamber or a platform. That's a room. And I don't know how expensive it would be for a platform to do it too, but still, I just feel like right now, in order to get what we want in the future, we have to build big. Just like computers were, you have to build them huge in order to where we now have computers at the size of our hands. They have the full scale of full immersion that we're thinking, imagining here for a VR connecting. You're gonna need something huge in order to build that someday.
If you want to be physically active in it, yes.
Yeah.
If you're not going to be physically active, if you're going purely off of I need my brain to just think that this is what's going on, you don't need a room.
You don't need a room?
No.
Even without modern day technology.
If you're gonna do the lazy thing and just go lay down in your bed like Sword Art Online, you don't need a room. What you need is just a big enough piece of equipment to push it.
Well,
since something to make your neurological connection so that it thinks that this is really what's happening.
Yeah, I think the moment we're able to put feed of a image directly into someone's mind of like the screen or whatnot, monitors, TVs, anything that displays a video is gone.
I agree with that.
Because if you can get a high definition straight to your brain, blacks will be blacks, not grays, not fades. Whites will be whites, and you can see them directly in front of you. And all that I would see is just your face right here. It wouldn't be floating; it would be right here. And I would see your room or see your place. So, but if we can connect it straight to our brain. What's the next sense of thing? We got visual. Well, then could you connect smell, sound? Then all you gotta do is just figure a way of making a computer that's powerful enough to make it realistic into your brain. And VR headsets would be gone, and that would be the ultimate. But then your body will be stationary, and that could be very bad for your health. Leave your thoughts down below and give us your opinions of what you would think would be the ultimate VR thing, and what game you would like to play in VR if it was a little bit more realistic. I think that's why people are still working on trying to get chips to your brain. But also, I think that's why people are trying to force AI so much so they can use AI to try to advance technology. Because a computer could be working 24/7, 7 days a week with a bunch of what's it called when they make like they do a bunch of tests over and 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 over again and keep on doing it. Simulations. In order to figure out what you would need to do, what would you need to make in order to have something that could connect to your brain. That we wouldn't like the end quality of AI, because I feel like that it could be a problem. Terminator or anything like that. Skynet. But anyways, again, the one straight to your brain would be nice, but yeah, you are correct, Corvo. I think if you did that, then your body would just be a meat sack laying in bed all day. Moving.
I would venture to say that you would have a high death rate of malnutrition.
Maybe even a cult trying to hey, we're all just let our bodies just wither away, and we're gonna live in this virtual world forevermore. No,
That's not how that works. Because when your body dies, you're gonna auto disconnect.
Disconnected. What? Did I just die? All right.
I knew I should have took a 15-minute break, ate that ramen.
Wake up, there's a lightsaber in your chest. All right, as always, have a good day, have a good night, have a good life. Much love, y'all. Bye.
Bye, guys.